It's day 21 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. It's a solstice somewhere, I think, either the 21st or the 22nd. So happy solstice, whatever hemisphere you're in. This question comes from Dan on Blue Sky. In Murray Gold versus Dudley Simpson, who do you prefer? What effect has the big romantic symphony orchestra of modern Doctor Who had on the stories of Doctor Who versus the small, clever chamber ensemble with some electronics music of 60s and 70s Doctor Who?
Yeah, but the problem is both these totally fit the thing they're there for, right? Dudley Simpson stuff works a hell of a lot better in old Doctor Who than Murray Gold would, and vice versa.
I mean, the success of Murray Gold scores. Your opinion may vary, of course, on the matter.
There's some genuine bangers in there. He's done some sterling work over the course of maybe the latest stuff is a little too bombastic, and you can blame him or you can blame RTD or you can blame both of them. But we shouldn't judge everything he's done on that because he's done some really good stuff.
And that's kind of where I would sit on this because for better or worse, music doesn't really. It doesn't really register for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if I think back to Doctor Who stuff that I do know and do enjoy, more often than not, it's going to be something from Murray Gold, just because his less his writing or the music ability or whatever, but things like the full orchestra really kind of just gave that extra thing that a synth and a whatever from the 70s maybe wouldn't do.
But at the same time, the 70s stuff is there for atmosphere. That's what it's there for. That's the remit he's got, and that's what he succeeded at. Like he didn't. You really couldn't do triumphant stuff at the time. So, and it wasn't really part of what you had in the show or many shows in Britain because that just wasn't the way these things were made.
The triumphant stuff was a lot more toned down.
Yeah. But just the presentation was too, right? So like everything's more film-like and cinematic now from 2005 onwards. So you would need somebody like Murray Gold. So this is a tough one because I think, like I said before, I think they're both perfectly suited to what they were given to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And work towards.
I mean, even thinking like Segan Akinola, for example, I really dig his music, but I would be hard-pressed to call out any name for any cue he's done.
No,
other than the Doctor one, which is a given.
Nope, not for me.
Oh, I would.
The one that's called Sonic Screwdriver on the soundtrack is really cool. Kind of has a similar melody to the
woman humming, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit like that. I think that's. But you're right, Chris. It's. I mean, the Akinola stuff was more akin to your like radiophonic workshop tones and feel of the 60s, really, not even the 80s, because I think the 80s was a lot more
no vocals, just atmosphere,
which I kind of liked, And I mean,
in the 80s, Kev McCullough, he went the other direction, and it just wasn't there. And not to slag on him, also the presentation on the screen didn't lend to the music he was doing, right? So
that was also a victim of its time as well.
I mean, I'm just thinking, Murray Gold under Stephen Moffat, I think I preferred to Murray Gold under Russell T Davies. I feel like maybe there was slightly less bombast when it came to the Moffat era.
Maybe. Although something like I Am the Doctor debuted with
it's pretty bombastic and it's great, but it's bombast,
But there are some, like, I'm just thinking about like recency bias a little bit, but like they just lacquered on the music during Ruby Sunday's farewell scene in Empire of Death. I'm thinking this is too much. We've overdone it. Whereas
there was less of that in RTD1. It still happened.
Yeah, but it was certainly less than I thought. It was more subtle at times in the the Moffat era. I think when it came to over-egging the pudding to really just like pushing home the emotional beats, I think is probably where
Rings of Akaton puts paid to that one because that is partly due to the music and everything and the speech being a letdown to begin with, but it is swelling music which is then used in Time of the Doctor exceptionally well. It's the same music, right? So it's kind of where you implement it, I guess.
You'll just have to, as a frame of reference, Stephen, just have to pull out your Series 10 soundtrack and have a listen.
That's
right here on air. Do it.
I've got it. I've got it right here. Oh, I had it here somewhere. I thought, didn't I?